Hello and welcome to Digimento. So let's begin today's session. So today we will be discussing about what is Sustainable Development Goals, and also if possible we will discuss the differences between Sustainable Development Goals and Millennium Development Goals. So a comparison also we will be making in today's lecture. So let's start. If you are attending the classes, please do send me a message if you are attending the classes, so that I'll be able to see who all are attending the classes. So okay, so let's begin. But before that, we are providing online courses for GATE, NTA, UGC, NET, PGT Computer Science. So you can visit our website www.digimentor.com, or you can call to any of these numbers if you want to get more information about the courses that we provide. Okay, so yeah, I hope you are all attending the classes. Suprita, Meenachi, Puviri and Mufazur Rahman. Hi Musafir. So sorry, it's Mufasir. So hi everyone. So let's start. Okay, quickly revising what we studied in the last two sessions, because we are discussing an interconnected topic, and also for those who have not attended the previous classes. So today we will be discussing about Sustainable Development Goals, and it is related with what we have learned yesterday and day before yesterday. So let's quickly recap. So we discussed about what is development. Then what is the definition given by UN, that is United Nations for Development. We also discussed what is the difference between economic growth and economic development. Also we discussed about the concept of GDP and national income. Then we also discussed how is development connected with the environment. So for those who have attended the classes already, this will be a quick revision. I'll just take 2 minutes. And for those who have not attended the classes are available on our channel. You can visit the previous classes and then listen to them. And also this will help you to understand what are the portions that we covered in the previous classes. So we discussed how is development and environment interconnected to each other, and what are the solutions to keep a balance between environmental protection and development. Then we discussed about the Millennium Development Goals. So these are the 8 Millennium Development Goals, and yesterday what we were doing, we were discussing each of the Millennium Development Goal in detail. So these are the 8 Millennium Development Goals. You can quickly go through them. First one is eradicating extreme poverty and hunger. Second one, achieving universal primary education. Third is promoting gender equality and empowerment of women. Fourth is reducing child mortality. Fifth is improving maternal health. Sixth is combating HIV, AIDS, malaria and other diseases. Seventh is to ensure environmental stability, and eighth one is global partnership for development. Now in the examination, there are chances that questions can be they will give you 4 options, and you have to choose which one is a Sustainable Development Goal or a Millennium Development Goal. Also question can be that which one is not a Millennium Development Goal or a Sustainable Development Goal. So such questions you can expect in your examination. So please do remember all of them. Okay, then we also discussed each of them in detail. You can quickly go through to get some revision, to do some revision. So these are the Millennium Development Goals, and we also said what is the difference between goal and a target. So under a goal, there can be different targets, and by achieving each one of the target, ultimately we will achieve the goal. So like that, there are different targets under each goal. So you can quickly go through, just take some few seconds to go through them to recap what we have learned yesterday. So these are they. Fifth one. Sixth one, ensuring stability and global partnership. So these are all the Millennium Development Goals. Now let's now come to Sustainable Development Goals. So who all are attending the classes? Okay. I hope everyone has joined the classes. So let's start with sustainable development goals. But before we start with sustainable development goals, we need to understand the concept of sustainable development. So first let's see what is the concept of sustainable development. Now, I'm so sorry that I'm not able to use the mouse properly to write. Okay, so let's see what is it. But before that, we have to divide it into two. One term is sustainable, second one is development. So we can divide broadly into two terms, that is, one is sustainability or sustainable, second one is development. Now you already know what is development. We have seen what is development. We also discussed what is the difference between growth and development. Now quickly, can someone comment what is development? So you have to tell me because I have already taught you what is development. So you have to tell me in the comment what is development, what is meant by the concept of development. Also, if you want, you can just comment what is the difference between development and growth. Can someone quickly, can someone answer my question? So what is development? You need not be like, very precise regarding the definition and all. You can just simply put it in your own words. You can put it in your own language and you can just express your idea regarding development. We have already discussed it in class several times. So I think it's very easy for you. Neetu has commented quality of life, correct. Suprita has commented growth plus quality of life, correct. So basically, Roslyn has commented that growth is narrow approach, development is a broad approach, correct. Everyone is giving the correct answers. I'm very happy about it. So development is something which is a qualitative measure of life, that is quality plus well-being. Quality of life plus well-being is measured under development. Okay. So it's a broader concept, as yes, Roslyn has commented, it's a broader concept, like that. It's a broader concept as compared to growth. Now, first we saw what is growth. So, okay, first we learned that growth. So, what is growth? It is measured in terms of GDP. It is the output earned by a country in monetary terms. So, we said growth is a very narrow concept, especially because it does not consider inequalities. Even if a country has attained growth in terms of GDP, the country may not have or not necessarily should have attained equal distribution, and that is when we discussed about equity and equality, if you remember. So we said growth is a narrow concept. Then we came into the concept called development. So as growth is a narrow concept, we discussed what is development. Now what is the problem with development again? Development again, we saw when we discussed about development, we saw that how development and environment is interconnected to each other. So when the pace of development increases, the environment is negatively impacted, or the effect on environment is negative. So how to tackle this problem? We said that we need to maintain a balance between development and environmental protection. So a balance needs to be maintained when we achieve development. So when we go for development, a balance has to be maintained between development and environmental protection. And this balance, if you ask me how this balance can be attained, the one word answer for this could be sustainable development. So sustainable development is nothing but the concept which explains that how development can take place without harming the environment or without affecting the environment, and that is what is called sustainable development. And this is the single term that you can use in order to say that or in order to give a solution for balancing the development and environmental protection. So what is meant by this term sustainable, or you use this term sustainability or sustainable in your daily life. So what is meant by the term sustainability? You must have used this term sustainability or sustain or sustainable. These terms you must have used it several times in your life. I need to sustain, or so what is it? What is the meaning of the term sustainable or sustainability? Can someone comment? Constant development. Yes, correct. Sustainability means some constant level, is it? Then what other dimension can you bring? Retain, correct. Constant, retain. So when you say, I'll give you an example. In your daily life, you must be using this term sustainable, no? I need a sustainable income, which means regular income, or you can say constant income. Suppose you have a job, which is a contract based job. Okay, suppose you got a job, you got 2 offers. Okay, I'll just clear it off. Okay, you got 2 options to work. One is a contract based employment, in which the contract period is only 6 months, and the income that they offer is 1 lakh rupees per month. Suppose, okay, I'm just giving you an example. So this is a contract based job, and like 6 months contract is there, and the income that they will give you is 1 lakh rupees. Now there is another option for you, that is there is a government job or a permanent job which is permanent in nature, but the income will only be 50,000 rupees. So most of you, I'm sure, will go for the second option. Is it? Which one will you go for? Can you comment? You have 2 options. So which one you will go for? The contract job or for the government job? 2. Everyone will go for the second option. Correct. Why? Because there is a security of tenure. You have security of job, and also the income. You can say that even if the income is less, even though the income is only 50,000, only 50,000 in the sense that relative to the first option, even though income is less, you will choose the second one because you will have a sustained, or a constant or a regular income, and your job is secured. So you will go for the second option. The same is the case with environment also. So what is needed? We need development. Now I'll give you 2 instances which you can connect with your contract job and also permanent job. Now for example, you have this natural resources, we have this environment, we have everything around us, the physical environment, the water resources, the air that we breathe, plants, animals, wildlife, the land, everything. We can say everything is included in our environment. So you are given 2 options. We discussed about the contract job and the permanent job, which is the government job. Now the first option is contract job. Let us connect it with environment. So in the first case, what will happen? In the first case, that these resources you can use it for, like, say 100 years, and it's over. We discussed about the concept of renewable energy, or resources. So renewable resources and non-renewable resources. So with regard to non-renewable resources, the problem is that you cannot replenish it. Once it's over forever. You cannot renew it or replenish it. So majority of the resources that we have is non-renewable in nature. Like for example, wildlife. If this wildlife is extinct, then we cannot regain them back. The forest, even though it is renewable, but it will take a very long period. If you destroy a forest, it will take several years to bring back that ecosystem. So similarly, most of the resources that we have, they are non-renewable, or like it will take a very long period of time for its renewable. So the first option is very similar to your contract employment. Like if you use this resources which is around you in a large scale, that is, in the contract employment the salary is high. So like that, if you use it in large scale, then what will happen? In 100 years it will be over. But in the second option, it's similar to a government job, wherein which the resources remain the same. The person in a government job also, the talent and the person you will be the same. But what is the advantage? So you will be getting a lesser salary. Like that, if we use the environment in a some controlled manner, we can say. Or we can say that instead of control, the best word that you can use is judicious. So if you use the environmental resources in a judicious manner, then there will be security, which means this will not get over. You can use it forever. You can then keep the environment and environmental resources. You can save them for the next generation and the coming generations. So which one you will prefer? 100 years, in 100 years you will use all the environmental resources, or you want to keep it for the future generation. Definitely you want to keep it for the future generation, but the reality is that man is very greedy and the man wants to use all the resources for himself, and that's why we are seeing large scale destruction of environment. So to bring a solution or to end that phenomena where the environmental resources are not judiciously used, they are being destroyed, the concept of sustainable development came in. So sustainable development, this is not only with regard to environment, with regard to anything you can connect this concept of sustainable development. So sustainable development is nothing but a concept which says that you have to be very judicious with the use of resources to keep it or to save it for the future generation. So this is called sustainable development. If this idea of sustainable development, if this concept of sustainable development is clear for you, please do comment in the comment section, because I will only move forward if this idea is clear, because this is a very important topic in your paper 1. In unit 9, this is one of the most important topics. Other than that, pollution is another important topic for you, but only if you understand the basic concepts of sustainable development, you will be able to understand further. That's why please make sure that this concept is clear for you. If anybody has any doubts regarding sustainable development, please do mention it in your comments so that I'll explain it again. Then we will move to the definition, and then we will further see what are the sustainable development goals. So yeah, everyone has commented that it's clear. Thank you so much. So let's move forward. So let's come to the definition. According to Brundtland Committee report of 1987, development that meets the needs of present generation without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs can be termed as sustainable development. So somebody, Shriya, has commented. Okay. So according to this committee, this is the same that we discussed now. So the committee has said that sustainable development is a developmental concept which says that the present generation's needs to be maintained, or it needs to be met. Like in case of your government employment, even though your salary is relative to that of the contract job, you will be able to meet your needs. Okay, even with 50,000 rupees, you will be able to meet your needs, your requirements. So it's not that you are, it's just that you are not getting a lump sum amount, but you will be able to meet your needs. So sustainable development, the concept means that you can meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of future generation. That is, you have to keep some of the environmental resources, you have to keep your resources for the next generation as well. You have to save them, you should not exploit it, you should not overuse it. So keeping some of them, saving some of the resources for the future generation as well, and this is called sustainable development. I hope this is clear now. Okay, now we are coming to the sustainable development goals. Akhtar Jamal has commented, Joycey Joy ma'am. Yes, my name is Joycey. Sumati has commented, ma'am, kindly repeat. You want me to repeat it? Okay, at the end of the session, I will repeat again. Otherwise, I think for others, it should be a distraction now. Okay, I will just tell you once more, okay, to make it clear. Okay, Attar has commented that you have seen me in some other channels. Okay, thank you for coming here also. Thank you, Attar. Okay. So I'll just explain the concept once more. So meeting the needs of the present generation, that is, you are meeting your own needs, but you are not compromising the needs for the future generation. That is, you are keeping something for the future generation. This is sustainable development. I hope now it is clear for you. Now we will come to the sustainable development goals in detail. It's very important for your examination. So let's see. Okay, sustainable development goals. So these goals are officially known as Transforming Our World, the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. In short, we call them as SDGs or Sustainable Development Goals. So this is the official terminology that we use for Sustainable Development Goals. It's not very important you will learn everything, because your objective is only to crack your paper 1, and that is objective type questions. So you are not writing a descriptive answer, so you need not by heart all of them, but just know that the Sustainable Development Goals are officially known as transforming our world. Why it is called transforming our world? Because by achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, we will be able to transform the world. So a qualitative transformation can be done. So transforming our world, the 2030 agenda for sustainable development. This is the official name, and there are 17 SDGs, sustainable development goals, and in case of Millennium Development Goals, we studied 8 goals and there were some targets. It was very easy for you to remember all of them. Now here there are 169 targets and also 304 indicators, but the good news is that you need not remember all of them, but it's very important that if question comes, you should be able to identify them. Okay, that can be done easily by knowing all these 17 sustainable development goals. So you need not worry about this 169 targets and 304 indicators, but you should be able to identify them if any of them are asked, but mostly questions will come only from the 17 sustainable development goals that you have to identify. At least if somebody is telling you that whether this is a sustainable development goal or not, you should be able to realize whether it is a sustainable development goal or not. That can be easily done. 2-3 times of revision of these sustainable development goals and understanding the nature of the goals itself will be enough for you to identify that. So it is not a very big deal. Okay. Now these are overall, what are the objectives of the sustainable development goal. This is just a brief idea, but we will have to study all of the 17 goals in detail, but this will give you a brief idea regarding what are the objectives or what is the aim of the sustainable development goals. So first one is dignity, that is to end poverty and fight inequality, thereby bring dignity. So in Millennium Development Goals also we have seen that ending or eradicating extreme poverty was the Millennium Development Goal, where in Sustainable Development Goal it is ending poverty in all its forms, not just extreme poverty but all its forms. So thereby we can provide dignity of life. Okay, when will dignity come? When we have access to basic resources like food, water, etc. and fight inequality, to reduce inequalities. Second one is, second objective is to bring prosperity, that is to grow a strong, inclusive and transformative economy. So this is a second goal, that is a strong, inclusive and transformative economy. Now these two terms are very important. Inclusive means in the development process we are including all the stakeholders. So all the stakeholders will be included in the growth or the development process. That is why we said development is needed, not growth. So growth will not ensure inclusiveness or equity or equality. So growth will not be able to ensure that there is equity and inclusiveness. Inclusiveness means including everyone, whether it is rural, urban, male, female, or children or grown-ups, or like rich, poor. So inclusiveness means including everyone, all the categories. So prosperity, bringing prosperity by bringing in inclusiveness and a transformative society. Third one is ensuring justice, and it can be achieved by promoting safe and peaceful societies and strong institutions. So safe and peaceful societies, that is security. So security and strong institutions. So institutions needs to be very strong at the local level, at the national level and also at the international level. Next is partnership. So partnership is needed to catalyze global solidarity for sustainable development. So this is partnership. So partnership here refers to, it can be the partnership of two countries, or it can also be the partnership of international organization and also countries. So it can be country to country participation or partnership, or partnership with international organizations. So how partnership will help to catalyze global solidarity and sustainable development. So these objectives are all global goals or global objectives. So therefore a global partnership is also very important. Next is caring for the planet, our planet Earth. To protect our ecosystem for all societies and for our children. So here by children it means that the next generation. So children are the next generation. Again here the concept of sustainability, that is we need to preserve our resources and also save our resources to meet the needs of the future generation, that is our children. Then another focus is people to ensure healthy lives. Healthy lives can be ensured by providing better medical facilities, knowledge, that is education, better education and inclusion of women and children, that is gender equality, and also helping the children. So these are the objectives, or we can say the broader aim or objectives of sustainable development goals. Now you tell me, by achieving these goals, whether we will be able to transform our economy or transform the world or not. So these are only the objectives. We have not discussed the goals. We have not moved into the goals, but looking at the objectives, these are the objectives, and if these objectives are met by 2030, tell me if whether we will be able to transform the world, transform the economy. Okay, in between I'm getting some comments. I'll just take up the comments. Okay, you can also take a 1-minute break in between while I'll just read the comments. Athar has commented that I'm your economics follower. Yes, my subject of expertise is economics, but ecology and polity are all like my favorite areas. So that's why I'm here to help you. And yeah, in between I'm getting a very happy comment. That's from Atira. Atira has commented that she was my junior in my college. So very happy to see you and attend your class. Same here, Atira. I'm also happy to see you here. So she was my college junior. I'm so happy that this online platform is giving me an opportunity to get connected with my juniors and my friends and all. So I'm very happy about it. Shreya, how sustainable development plays important role in our life? Okay, I'll come to it. That's a very important question that we need to answer. Meenachi has commented, yes, it can be because of education. Not only because of education, yes, education plays a very important role, a key role. But it's not only because of education. See, ending poverty, if you look into any objective, ending poverty, fighting inequality, so creating security, international institutions, partnerships. So all these will help in transforming our world into a better one. So in general, sustainable development goals, if we are able to achieve them by 2030, there is no doubt we will go into a transformative phase. Okay. And yeah, another question that Shreya has asked me, how sustainable development plays an important role in our life. Okay, so now we were all talking about how the future generation will be affected, or how the future generation can be benefited out of the sustainable development goals. So do not think that it is just the future generation which will be benefited from the sustainable development goals. I'm sorry, I have a bad headache today. That's why I'm like in between I'm feeling a little, a little tired, and maybe I'll end up this session by like 7:40 to 45. Please excuse me. I'm not feeling really good today, but still I'm okay. Okay. So yeah. So please do not think that the sustainable development goals are just meant for the future generation. It is not just for the future generation, but also for the present generation. How? Climate change. Have you heard about climate change? Have you heard about the air pollution levels, especially in our cities? Have you heard about pollution? Have you heard about greenhouse gas effect? Have you heard about global warming? I'm sure you must have heard about any of these, or maybe mostly all of these. So why all these things happen? This is because we are not judiciously using our environment. This is because we are not judiciously using our resources. So sustainable development goals are an answer to all of these. Okay. And Sustainable development goals don't think that it is just connected with ecology and environment. It is not connected with ecology and environment. It is a developmental concept. It is a development concept. And what do you mean by a development concept? I'm really sorry. Whenever I'm trying to write something, it's coming the other way. I'm not at all used to use this mouse for writing. But unfortunately, because of the lockdown, I'm not able to get my pen tablet. And that's why I'm writing so bad. Otherwise, one good compliment that I get from everyone is that my handwriting is so good. But I'm really sorry I'm not able to write well now. Okay, so coming back, sustainable development goals. Don't think that these are just related to ecology and environment. Two things that you must be thinking now when I have explained so much about the sustainable development goals could be that one thing that must be a confusion for you is whether it is related to environment only. This is a wrong concept, a wrong thing that you are thinking. And second one is that it is not just for the future generation, but it is also for the present generation. So these two things are wrong perceptions. It is not just related to environment, it is related to development. So development includes, as we said yesterday, development is a multi-dimensional concept. So whatever will add quality to your life, it is development. So whatever will bring well-being to your life, it is development. It can be environmental prosperity, it can be health, it can be education, it can be income, it can be better job opportunities, it can be cleaner environment, cleaner resources, or better drinking water facilities, food. So all these things will add quality to your life. Okay, and whatever adds quality to your life, it is development. It is adding on to development. Second one, whether it will be beneficial only for the future generation or for the present as well. So sustainable development is a part of development, but just that in the process of achieving development, we are caring for the future as well. So developmental process is carrying on, or it's carried out, but at the same time we are just ensuring that the future generation is also taken care of. So please do not think that it is for the future only. It is for us also. We will be the most important beneficiaries of sustainable development because it is a developmental process, but just that we are caring for the future generation as well. So all these objectives are going to benefit us also equally or more, we can say. Okay, I hope this is clear now. And if it is not clear, please do comment. Now, taking up a few questions, Neetu has asked me whether I'm a Keralite. Yes, I'm a Keralite, but I was born and brought up in Mumbai, did my schooling, but later I came back to Kerala. I'm basically a Keralite. And second question, do we need to refer to other books or other study material except the lecture? I think the lecture would be sufficient for you. I will not recommend you to go for further reading, but if you have enough time and if you are like so much interested in reading, then you can definitely go ahead. But I told you in the first lecture itself, my idea is to make everything clear in the class. In your paper 1, this is just one unit. Okay, this is just one unit of your paper 1 in which you will get 50 questions, and if you attend the classes properly and if you also take up the lecture notes and revising, it will be sufficient, I feel. Also towards the end of the series, that is after we complete the syllabus, I will take up the previous year 10 years question papers as well, so that you will understand what is the pattern of questions being asked, how the questions are framed, and what is the perspective that you should have for answering those questions. So we will take up that also. I think with that it should be enough, because it's your paper 1 which has like 50 questions and 100 marks, and then 1/3 of your total marks. 200 marks goes to your paper 2, which is your subject of expertise. And even in paper 1, this is only one unit 9. So I think the classes and the lecture notes will be sufficient, more than enough. And also once we do the question papers, it will be sufficient. Shreya has asked me, is it related to our external and internal life? Yes, it's related to both external life as well as our internal life. Okay, so these are some of the questions that have come up. Okay, now let's come to sustainable development goals. Any other doubts or any clarifications needed, please do comment. I'll be happy to help you. So these are all some of the, okay, this I have made it like elaborate. The sustainable development goals. So these are the 17 goals in detail, but I don't think there is time for us to go into detail. But today what we will do, we will just quickly go through the goals, and tomorrow we will come to the explanation, that is the detailed analysis of the goals. So today what we will do, we will just look into what are the 17 goals. So these are the goals. The first one is no poverty, that is ending poverty. Now in your Millennium Development Goals also, the first goal was to end poverty, but the difference was that it was extreme poverty. So here poverty, all forms of poverty needs to be eliminated. So no poverty, nobody should be suffering from poverty. This is the sustainable development goal number 1. But do you think that it is practically possible by 2030? This is 2020. Another 10 years, do you think that the world will overcome the problem of poverty? Even in developing countries, we are not just talking about least developed countries. Even in developing countries like India, poverty is a very big issue, very important issue. So do you think that we will be able to overcome this problem in another 10 years? Do you think so? No, we need more time. So 10 years may not be sufficient. Okay, second one is zero hunger, and we have already discussed what is meant by hunger. So poverty is different and hunger is different. Hunger is that you do not have access to food, whereas poverty means not just food but basic necessities. So this is the difference between hunger and poverty. So when we say that a person is poor, it is different from that of saying a person is hungry. Hungry means you do not have food, that is hunger, whereas poverty means you do not have access to basic necessities. Basic necessities are food, shelter, clothing. So all these are your basic necessities. So this is the difference between poverty and hunger. Okay, third one is good health and well-being. So this is your healthcare. This is regarding your healthcare availability. And again, we discussed that in healthcare there are two indicators. One is accessibility, access to healthcare facilities, and another one is affordability. So these are the two things. So accessibility and affordability. Fourth is quality education. So earlier in Millennium Development Goals, we again saw that it was just access to education or universal primary education, if you remember. But here it is not just universal primary education, but it is quality education. Why? Because with Millennium Development Goals, many countries achieved the target of universal primary education. But the problem was that the quality of education was very low. Like in case of India, if we look into some reports, we will see that even though the children attend school, or even those students who have completed their primary education are not able to read, write, or do some basic arithmetic. So this shows that the quality of education is low. Now, from Millennium Development Goal to Sustainable Development Goal, we shifted our target from achieving universal education to improving the quality. So now our focus is to increase quality of education. Now the fifth one is gender equality, that is male, female and transgenders. So equality among all these genders. We also discussed why we need gender equality, not equity. So yesterday we discussed why do we need equality, not just equity. So, I hope you remember that. Okay, now the sixth one is clean water and sanitation. So clean water, that is drinking water and sanitation facilities. We will come to the details there. We will discuss about Swachh Bharat Abhiyan and the role and everything. The seventh one is affordable and clean energy. So clean energy means renewable sources of energy and also which do not pollute the environment. Okay, clean energy and affordable energy. That also we will come to the details. We will discuss about International Solar Alliance. Then we will also discuss about various government initiatives in this regard. We will see that. Eighth is decent work and economic growth. Now, economic growth. See, economic growth is just one component in development. Okay. So, decent work, that is employment opportunities. Decent employment opportunities, thereby people will be able to generate income and which will ensure economic growth. So, output increase and economic growth. Ninth is industry, innovation and infrastructure. We will come to the details. No much explanation required here. 10th is reduced inequalities. So inequalities needs to be reduced, and we have already seen what is inequality. It can be rural, urban inequality, rich, poor inequality, men, women, or gender inequality, or even transgender. So inequality. So reducing the inequality in all forms is another target. 11th is sustainable cities and communities. So sustainable cities and communities. Again, sustainability means taking care of future generation. 12th is responsible consumption and production. We will come to the details of responsible consumption and production. One example of responsible consumption and production would be the extended producer responsibility, EPR. That is, if waste is generated by the consumption of certain commodities, then the producer itself will be responsible for recycling the waste and collecting the waste. That is one example, extended producer responsibility. We will come to all that, don't worry about it. Then 13 is climate action. 14 is life below water, that is taking care of marine resources. 15 is life on land, that is terrestrial ecosystem. 16 is peace, justice and strong institutions. 17 is partnership for the goals. So these institutions are very important. We have to discuss about the institutions in detail, in entire detail, because that is a subtopic mentioned in your syllabus. Again, the 17th one is partnership, global partnership for achieving all these goals. So these are the sustainable development goals. Tomorrow we will see each goal in detail, and then if time permits, tomorrow itself we will see how we can compare SDGs, sustainable development goals, with that of Millennium Development Goals. Otherwise we will do it in the next class. So this is all for today. If you have any suggestions you can comment. There is no issue in that. I'll take up all the suggestions. I want to improve myself, and the ultimate objective is that you have to benefit from my classes. So you can give me any suggestions that you like. So accordingly I will try to improve my classes. And also, if you have any clarifications needed, please do comment. I will take up the questions now for 2 minutes. I will just see. Okay, Aarti is asking whether I'll be taking the entire paper 1, not full, but maximum topics I will take. Any other questions? So you have any other clarifications needed or any questions, I'll answer it in now. And please do not forget to subscribe to our channel, and also please press the bell icon so that you will be notified whenever we upload a new class. And please do share it with your friends. Let them also get benefited from this classes. If you feel that it has benefited you, you have to share it with your friends, with your group, with your peer group, and let them also join our classes. And we will make it more interactive. We will make it more live, so that more people will join, and then it will be more, interactive session, and also more doubts will come up, so more clarification can be done and more clarity and of the concepts can be done. So please do share it with your friends and ask them to join from tomorrow. So every day we will meet at 7 p.m. If you do not have any other EPR abbreviation, okay, EPR is extended producer responsibility. Meenachi has asked me this doubt. So please do share it with your friends and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you again tomorrow, the same time, 7 p.m. Until then, keep well, have lots of fun, but in between you have to study. Your target is studying, but you can also do some extracurricular things and then have fun and all that. But keep your focus stable, and also please be disciplined in your studies so that you will be able to achieve your goal. And do your subject paper 2, that is your area of expertise, do it really well, because the more weightage goes to paper 2. So do it really well, And take care of yourself, take care of your family, your friends, and everyone who is with you. Stay safe. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye. So hello everyone, hi and welcome to Digimento. So let's continue our series of lectures on people, development and environment. So let's start today's lecture. But before that, we are providing online coaching for GATE, NTA, UGC NET and PGT Computer Science. You can visit our website www.digimento.com, or you can call to this number for getting more information regarding the courses that we provide, the online courses that we provide. And also, if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe to our channel, and also please press the bell icon for getting notifications, and also do share the lecture with your friends. So let's start. Let's quickly recap what we have learned in the last two lectures in this particular topic. So let's quickly see what we have learned. We discussed about the concept of development. Also, we discussed about growth and development. What is the difference between growth and development? Here we discussed about GDP. We also discussed about what is national income, what is well-being. So I'm waiting for others to join the class. So till then, the first 2 minutes, let's quickly recap. And please send me a hi, hello message if you have joined the class. Those who have joined, please do send me a message just to see if you have joined or not. Okay. Again, then we discussed about development and environment. What is the connection or interrelation between development and environment, and how environment is affected due to increased rate of development. So we have discussed about that. Then we came to Millennium Development Goals. There are 8 Millennium Development Goals, and we discussed all of them in detail. And yeah, this is the 8 Millennium Development Goals, and we discussed about all of them. Then yesterday we discussed about sustainable development. We discussed what is the concept of sustainable development in detail. Also, we discussed about the goals of sustainable development, or rather we can say what are the aims or the objectives of sustainable development. And we said that there are 17 sustainable development goals. And yesterday we had seen what are these 17 goals. So briefly we discussed, or we just went through what are these 17 sustainable development goals. So these are the 17 sustainable development goals. Today what we'll be doing, we'll be looking into the details of the 17 sustainable development goals, and if time permits, we will also compare the sustainable development goals with that of Millennium Development Goals. Also, we will discuss about the significance and the relevance of sustainable development goals, why we need them. Also, side by side, I am also preparing the questions from the previous year papers. I have taken the last 10 years from 2010 to 19. So I have taken all the papers in the paper 1, and all the questions from this particular unit in your papers in the last 10 years, so that you will get more clarity regarding how questions are being asked. So once we finish this unit, we will directly go to the questions. We will discuss all the questions in detail, and I will also make you to answer the questions. Okay. So that will give you more clarity. And I have also spoken to the team regarding the availability of PDF. So I'll be sharing the PDFs with Digimento team. They will make some facilities for giving you these PDFs. So they will arrange something, maybe a Telegram channel or something, through which you will get access to all the PDFs of my lectures. So that also will be done soon. Okay, so let's come to today's lecture. So let's first go into the 17 sustainable development goals. I hope you all have joined the classes. Hi Neetu, Aman, hi, Nirja, hello, Tausif and Puviri. So these people have commented. Thank you so much for joining the class. I hope others have also joined, but they are not commenting. Anyways, let's start, and I hope those who have not joined will be joining us soon. Okay, so let's directly come to our topic today. So, sorry. As I said, today we'll be discussing all the 17 sustainable development goals in detail. But before we move into the goals, I want to give you some, clarifications. First thing is that for every competitive examination, this is a very important topic, not only for your net examination. If you see state PSCs, state PSC exams, or like, you know, UPSC exams, or even for NABARD exams, or like some bank exams also, these questions are asked in the general awareness session. So for all exams, this is a very, very important topic. Apart from UGC net, NTA net, if you are also preparing for other competitive examinations, then also you can make use of these topics, these classes. So they are very important for all the examinations. So let's see them in detail. The first one is ending poverty in all its forms everywhere. So these two things are important. In all the forms everywhere, these two things are very, very important. So ending poverty. Now if we compare it with the Millennium Development Goals, we will see that in Millennium Development Goals, the focus was to eradicate extreme poverty. But here when we come to Sustainable Development Goals from that of Millennium Development Goals, Millennium Development Goals, it ended in 2015. So as we move forward with Millennium Development Goals, that is from 2015 to 2030, that is we have a period of 15 years for the achievement of Sustainable Development Goals. And Sustainable Development Goals is one step ahead of that of Millennium Development Goals. Like for example, you know, let's see a very typical example. Suppose if our parents are farmers, they want the next generation to be like more educated, more well settled, etc. Same like that, Millennium Development Goals, they had, we can say, little narrower goals, whereas Sustainable Development Goals, they are even more broader and also even more ambitious, we can say. So in Millennium Development Goals, the objective was to end extreme poverty. So a classification, that is extreme poverty, ending of extreme poverty was the objective of Millennium Development Goal. Whereas in Sustainable Development Goal, when we come to Sustainable Development Goal, the focus is even more broader. It has a focus of ending the poverty in all its forms, whether it is extreme poverty or lighter levels of poverty or relative poverty, ending poverty in all the forms everywhere. Everywhere means this is a global goal, which means globally. So ending poverty in all its forms globally has become the objectives of Sustainable Development Goal. So this is the first one. Second one is ending hunger. Yesterday we have seen what is the difference between poverty and hunger. Can someone recollect what is the difference between poverty and hunger? Somebody in the comments, can you give me what is the difference between hunger and poverty? Yesterday we have discussed this concept. Somebody else also has joined our classes. Rajita and Atar, hi, hello, welcome. So tell me what is the difference between hunger and poverty. Okay, so poverty means lack of access to basic necessities. Yesterday we have discussed that. Yeah, Neetu has commented poverty is basic necessities. Correct. Poverty means we do not have access to basic necessities. Basic necessities includes what all are included in basic necessities. It can be food, it can be clothing, it can be shelter, it can be drinking water. So these are all the basic necessities of a person. Again, Athar has commented that hunger is temporary. Yes, hunger is temporary compared to poverty. Why? Because if a person is fed or if a person is given some food, then we can solve the problem of hunger. But poverty, it's a deeper social issue which needs to be tackled multidimensionally, because it is the lack of access to basic necessities. So it's a even more multidimensional social issue which needs more policy attention, and not just provision of food will be a solution to ending poverty. Yes, that is correct. So poverty is a even more broader concept. We can say that poverty is a broader concept which includes unavailability or lack of access to all the basic necessities of life. Whereas Hunger is only a part of poverty, which means when a person does not have access to food, or when a person is deprived of the basic necessity, that is food, one basic necessity, that is food, then we can call it as hunger. So hunger means deprivation from food, or when a person does not have access to food, this is called hunger. So the second objective or the second goal under the sustainable development goal is to end hunger, and this can be done by achieving food security, improved nutrition, and promote sustainable agriculture. Now let's discuss these three things. Now how this target or the goal of ending hunger can be achieved. First is attaining food security. Food security means availability of food commodities. I'll give you an example of food security. Very good example is during the lockdown. I'll just clear it off to write more. Okay, during the lockdown, suppose you belong to a containment zone. So same is happening here. Okay, in my place also, now my place where I live in Trivandrum in Kerala. I belong to the state of Kerala, but now I live in Trivandrum. My district is Trivandrum. So here the place I live in, the exact place is called Jawahar Nagar. So here there is a triple lockdown going on, and my place is a containment zone. So what happens is that all the roads from different all the roads which will connect to my place, all are blocked. So what has happened now, even though I want to have some food or food commodities, even though I want to buy some grocery, it's not possible. I cannot buy groceries or like vegetables, fruits, milk, nothing is accessible for me. So this is a temporary situation. Once the lockdown is over, I can go and buy. Okay. So this is a temporary situation. Now for example, a person, he does not have money to buy that. So whether it is a lockdown or whether it is a containment zone, it doesn't matter for him, because his problem is not that he does not have access or he cannot go and buy, but his problem is that he does not have money, and that is why poverty is a even more deeper concept. Now achieving food security, why it is important. Let's take for example the same lockdown issue. If you remember, the lockdown started, the national lockdown, okay, it started in the last week of March. If you remember, I think it was on March 25th or 24th. So in the last week of March, the Prime Minister announced a national lockdown. So what happened? One of the most important problems was that interstate and intrastate transportation got affected. Now, I will give you an example which I am very familiar of. That will help me to discuss that in detail. So, I live in Kerala, and two neighboring states of Kerala are Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. So, these are two neighboring states. Now, the Kerala economy is highly dependent on these two states of Karnataka and Tamil Nadu for many things, especially for agricultural commodities. Kerala purchases agricultural commodities from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka on a large scale. But initial phases of lockdown, what happened is that the trucks or the vehicles which carried the goods, especially the agricultural commodities from Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, was not permitted inside Kerala, and they were also not willing to come to the state of Kerala. So what happened? What happened is that we did not have access. Even though the government had money to purchase or people had money to purchase, it was not available, and it led to inflation, rise in prices, even though the government tried to control it. Now this is because Kerala did not had a food security, that is self-sufficiency, and food security has two components. One is self-sufficiency, that is we are a self-sufficient economy. Second one is that enough buffer stock. So these two things will ensure that whether an economy or whether any person or any household or any individual has food security. Now we are talking about the global level. So at the global level, food security means that self-sustainability plus what we call as buffer stock or accessibility. So food security is one component which will help in eliminating hunger. Second one is improved nutrition. That's why we discussed about the concept of hidden hunger. If you remember, we also discussed about the concept of hidden hunger. Do you remember what is hidden hunger? So hidden hunger, if you remember, it is the lack of, can someone comment? I have discussed about hidden hunger already. So can you tell me what is hidden hunger? Very good. Neerja, lack of vitamins and minerals. Neetu, lack of micronutrients. Correct. So both answers are correct. Why? Because hidden hunger is lack of micronutrients. And what are these micronutrients? Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. So yes, Attar has also commented that it's lack of micronutrition. So this is hidden hunger. So we said that hidden hunger is one of the emerging problems. So improved nutrition will help in eliminating hidden hunger as well. So in ending hunger, the sustainable development goal aims to achieve food security, improved nutrition, and third is promoting sustainable agriculture. Now what is sustainable agriculture? You have to tell me, because we yesterday already discussed about the concept of sustainability. Sustainability means we are caring for the future generation as well. So you have to tell me, you can make wide guesses. It's very simple. If you know the concept of sustainability, you can connect it with anything. So tell me, what is sustainable agriculture? Meanwhile, I'll take up the comments. Neetu has commented she is also from Trivandrum. Okay, hello. I'm so happy to meet someone from my place. So where do you stay in Trivandrum, Neetu? Somebody tell me, what is sustainable agriculture? What is sustainability? Judicious use of resources and conserving the resources for future generation. So what is sustainable agriculture? Nobody? Attar has commented that production of crops with hurting environment or without. I think that was a typo. You meant it as without hurting environment. Yes, correct. Yeah, Attar, yes, that was a typo. So, Tausif has commented agriculture in a way to meet society's present goals in a sustainable way. Correct answers. So, sustainable agriculture means without harming the environment. Now, can you tell me, how do we harm the environment during the agricultural production? So, how do we harm? Can you give me some examples? Use of pesticides, excessive use of fertilizers. So by using the pesticides, we are killing the pest. Insecticides, we are killing the insects. So what will happen? Even the needed, pests and the insects or microorganisms, like for example, what we say, worms, earthworms. So those microorganisms which are very good for improving the quality of soil, they also get killed. Excessive use of pesticides and insecticides. Also, excessive use of fertilizers will deteriorate the quality of soil. Then, what are the other examples? Over-exploitation of groundwater resources. For irrigation purposes, if we are over-exploiting the groundwater resources, again, this leads to degradation of the environment. So, these are all some examples, very few examples by which we are harming the environment. So, sustainable agriculture means we are taking care of the future generations' needs as well. Therefore, what we are doing, we are adopting only the best methods or the best ways which will help us to conserve the environment. A very good example of sustainable agriculture is organic farming. So questions can be asked like that. Organic farming, and a very important measure taken by the government of India to promote organic farming is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. So we will come to all that in detail when we discuss about the government initiatives. So organic farming is a very good example of sustainable agriculture. And in organic farming, we use very less, or we can say zero usage of pesticides, insecticides and chemical fertilizers. Okay, so this is about the second goal, that is ending the hunger. Third one is ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being for all age groups or for all ages. So healthy lives. Healthy lives and well-being. In Millennium Development Goals, we saw that the objectives or the goals were a little narrow. It was to promote healthcare facilities, but here it is to ensure healthy lives. This is not just provision of healthcare facilities, but also promoting well-being. So how can that be done? Do you think that only providing healthcare facilities will help us to achieve healthy lives or promote well-being? No. Apart from that, there are certain other things which are important to ensure healthy lives. What are the other things? Can you tell me? Can someone tell me? what are the other things apart from access to healthcare facilities that we need to promote well-being? It can be healthy food habits, daily exercises, or like healthy practices like yoga, breathing exercises, meditation. All these things are very important. So ensuring healthy lives and promoting well-being, it's a holistic approach where the governments at different levels or at different countries are not just focused on providing access to healthcare facilities, but also the government is committed to improve the well-being. For that, awareness is important. Awareness about diseases like lifestyle diseases like diabetes, cancer, etc. Then again, what more is important? Promoting healthy food habits among the citizens. So all these things are very, very important. So this is a holistic approach. We will come to it when we discuss and compare the sustainable development goals and millennium development goals. But as we study the millennium development goals, you should also be aware of the fact that it is a more broader concept as compared to millennium development goals. Sustainable development goals are more broader compared to MDGs. So this you should be very clear about. Okay. Now again, the fourth one is to ensure inclusive and equitable quality education and promote lifelong learning opportunities for all. Now here I have a few questions for you. Because we have already discussed all these concepts, you are in a position to answer it. So I'm sure you will be able to answer. First, you tell me what is meant by inclusiveness. I have already discussed about what is inclusiveness. So can someone tell me what is inclusiveness or what is meant by inclusive? All these things we have discussed several times and you should answer me. Otherwise, I'll think that you did not understand anything from my class. What is inclusiveness? Suppose this is a resource pool and we have different groups like the rural people, urban people, women, children, elder people, rich, poor. So the resources and the benefit of the resources should be distributed among everyone or including everyone in the distribution process. Nirja has commented that including everyone despite of caste, creed, economic status, children, everyone. Yes. Attar has commented that take account of all. Neetu has commented that including all of the development dimensions. Yes. All in one. Yes. Equal opportunities. Yes. Inclusiveness means including everyone in the growth process or including everyone in the development process. So this is called inclusiveness. Now equity, we have already discussed about what is equity. Now equity, dividing according to the needs. So I'm not going into the detail because we have already discussed what is equity. So equitable distribution. When we spoke about gender, like we said that equality is not equality is needed, not equity. Did you remember? Do you remember that when we spoke about gender, we said that we need gender equality, not equity. So when it comes to education, why we are then talking about equity, not equality? So when we spoke about gender, empowerment of women and other transgenders, so we said that we need equality, not equity. Now tell me, why do we need equity in education? Why do we need equity? So education, the resources, educational resources needs to be distributed according to the needs, not equally. Why? This is because we have a concept called reservation. Reservation is based on the principle of equity. Because in reservation, what we do, we distribute the resources according to the need. Suppose if there is a particular caste or a class in a society which is economically poor or socially backward, then we give more to them. We reserve something for them. This is equitable distribution of resources. When it comes to education, we have reservations. And what is this reservations? The principle of what is the principle in which the reservation is based on? It is based on the need, equity, the principle of equity. There are certain people, there are certain class in our society which needs even more care than the others. That is why we have the EWS, economically weaker sections. We have the OBC reservations, SC reservations, ST reservations, etc. These are people who come from economically and socially backward classes. So they need even more attention and care. Policy attention is required, and that is why we need equitable distribution of educational resources. Yes, Neerja has commented rural areas. Yes, lack of basic education is yes, rural areas also need more attention. Yes, correct. And promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. I'm really sorry, I have a cold, and that's why in between I have this cough and sneezing and all. I'm really sorry for that. Okay, so this is the fourth sustainable development goal. The fifth one is achieving gender equality and empowerment of women and girls. So this is very clear, equality. So here we talk about the concept of equality. When it comes to gender, we need equal distribution, not based on needs, because each gender, whether it is male, female or transgender, the need is same for all. So here we do not look into equity, but rather we look into equality, equal distribution of resources among all genders. So this is the fifth one. Sixth is ensuring the availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So this is the sixth one. Sixth one is availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for all. So availability of water resources and proper sanitation facilities. Can you tell me two yojanas which the government of India has launched for ensuring drinking water or piped drinking water and sanitation? At least sanitation you can answer, because that's a very popular scheme. That's a very popular yojana, Abhiyan. So can someone tell me in the comment section, what is the government launched program for ensuring sanitation facilities in urban and rural areas? Someone. I'm expecting answer for this question, because this is a very easy question. Swachh Bharat, correct. Athar has commented Swachh Bharat. Yes, correct. So for ensuring sanitation, the government has launched Swachh Bharat Abhiyan at the rural level and also at the urban levels. Now for water, can you tell me that also? Yes, many people have commented right answer. I'm so happy. So tell me, what is the scheme that the government launched in the very latest budget for providing piped water connection in all rural areas, so in all rural households? So what is that? It is called, I'll give you an example. I will give you a clue. JM. Can you now expand it? This is the clue. Now can someone expand it? Tell me what it is. In the last year budget, in 2020 budget, government has approved the scheme. Can someone tell me? This is to ensure piped water connection to every household. Yes, Jal Jeevan Mission, correct answer. Tausif has commented Jal Jeevan Mission, correct answer. So this is at the national level, but the goal, the sustainable development goal, is at the global level. So the sixth goal is to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation for everyone. So Jal Jeevan Mission, yes, correct answer. So this is the sixth one. So today I think the session will go a little longer, because I want to complete all the 17 goals. Even though the session goes a little more longer, please bear it with me. I want to complete it today, and tomorrow we will take up the comparison and the relevance. So let's see. I'll try to finish it within the time limits, but even though it goes a little longer, please bear it with me. So now next one is seventh one. The seventh goal is to ensure access to affordable, reliable, sustainable and modern energy for all. So availability or accessibility of energy, but it's not simply energy, but there are certain conditions. One is Affordability. That is, it should be affordable. The cost. Affordability comes with cost. So cost should be minimum so that everyone will have the access to it. Reliability. Reliability. What is meant by reliability? Reliability means 24/7 access. For example, in the villages, in rural areas, there is power shortages, or like, from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, or maybe for 1 hour or 2 hours, there will be power cuts. So this is called power shortage. So reliability means every time access, that is 24/7 access. Sustainability means from renewable sources of energy, so that clean and renewable sources of energy, so that the energy resources will be available for the future generation as well. And modern energy. So these are the conditions. And considering this, the government has launched various schemes in India. Can someone give me some examples? Ujala scheme. Then what are the other schemes? Saubhagya scheme. So these are all some of the government related schemes. We will come to the schemes because schemes are also very, very important for you. There are questions which are asked from schemes. So we will cover that also. Just telling you when we are covering the sustainable development goals, but we will cover all of them in detail. Okay, now next one, 8th one is to promote sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth, full and productive employment and decent work for all. Okay, so here also we will see it is broader as compared to Millennium Development Goal. So sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth. Economic growth is measured in terms of GDP. GDP means output, the monetary value of the output. So this is GDP. So monetary value of output, and economic growth is measured in terms of GDP. So this is the objective of the government at various levels. So sustainable development goals aims at achieving this objective as well, and governments at the different levels, national levels, have to promote this sustained, inclusive and sustainable economic growth with productive employment and decent work opportunities for everyone. We will come to the schemes, then you will understand them better. Next is build resilient infrastructure, promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and foster innovation. So here the objective is to promote industrialization and innovation, but the promotion of industrialization and innovation should be in a manner which is sustainable, which means which cares for the future generation as well. So this is the 9th one. 10th is reducing inequality within and among countries. So within the country, now for example, India, in India itself, India is a country, one country. So in India, we know that within the country, there are various forms of inequalities. It can be rural-urban inequalities at the rural level, urban level. It can be economic inequalities, social, gender. So various types of inequalities exist. Regional inequalities as well. There are certain regions which are less developed than other regions. So regional inequalities are there. So this is within the country. Now when we compare two countries, that is 2 or 3 countries, US, we have China, we have India. Let's also take another example, Sudan. So these are some countries. Now if we compare these countries, there are inequalities between these countries as well. All countries, or the economic growth and development at all these countries, are not the same. So within the country and between the countries, there are inequalities, and SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, aims to ensure that inequality within and among the countries are reduced. So we cannot eliminate, that's not possible, but we have to reduce the inequality within and among the countries. This is the another objective. Next is making cities and human settlements inclusive, safe, resilient and sustainable. So sustainable cities. And for that we have many schemes like the Genrum, which is now renamed as Genrum. What is the new name of Genrum? Rural Mission. Okay, so GenRem is now renamed as Rural Mission. So we have different schemes: Smart City Mission, Rural Mission. So all these are there, which helps in making the cities and human settlements more inclusive, safe, resilient, and sustainable. Next is ensuring sustainable consumption and production patterns. So consumption patterns, that is overconsumption needs to be reduced, and production, how can we attain sustainable production? By using renewable resources, maximum renewable resources. Next one is very important, which we will be discussing separately in very detail, because in your syllabus this is mentioned separately. We will take up this and study it in detail. Take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. So climate change needs to be combated, the impact of the climate change needs to be reduced. So climate change is a separate topic for you. We will discuss it in detail, but understand that this is one among the sustainable development goals. So 1 out of 17 sustainable development goals is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impacts. Next is conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. So this goal, this is regarding sustainable use of marine resources, ocean resources, or what we call as marine resources. Okay. So conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. So conservation and sustainable use of marine resources is this objective or the sustainable development goal. Protecting, restoring, and promoting sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem. The earlier goal was to protect and conserve the marine ecosystem. So now the focus is on terrestrial ecosystem. So marine and terrestrial. Marine means ocean resources. Terrestrial means land resources. So next objective is the sustainable use of land resources. Terrestrial ecosystems sustainably manage forest, combat desertification, and halt and reverse the land degradation and halt biodiversity loss. So under terrestrial ecosystem, or under the sustainable use of terrestrial ecosystem, what are the focus areas? One is sustainable management of forest, that is reducing deforestation and increasing reforestation, or what we call afforestation. So we have seen what is the difference between reforestation and afforestation. So sustainable management of forest by reducing deforestation and increasing afforestation. Second is combating desertification. So I already discussed the basic terms. There I have discussed what is desertification. So this is why I discussed all the basic terms in the beginning itself, so that you will get more clarity as we proceed with the lectures. So second objective is combating desertification. Desertification is desert-like conditions. And halt and reverse the land degradation. So reversing land degradation and biodiversity loss of biodiversity. So these are the objectives. Next is promoting peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, build effective and accountable inclusive institutions at all levels. So next one is regarding institutions, international institutions like the UN, WTO, World Bank, IMF, all these are various international institutions. So promoting the international institutions to make them more accountable, inclusive. Accountable means accountable to the member countries. Inclusive means including all the regions, not only developed countries, or maybe not only developed and developing economies, but also the least developed countries. So all the regions, all the economies needs to be included, and thereby promoting peace, inclusiveness, sustainability, justice, etc. So this is the 16th goal. And 17 is strengthen the means of implementation and revitalize the global partnership for sustainable development. Again, here the global partnership means the partnership between economies, country to country partnership, and also partnership of these countries with some international organizations or international institutions. So these are the 17 sustainable development goals. Then tomorrow we will see how the sustainable development goals are different from that of the Millennium Development Goals and what is the relevance and importance of Sustainable Development Goals. We will see that tomorrow. And if you have any doubts regarding the Sustainable Development Goals, we will take them up. So I'll just read the comments. Nirja has asked Ujala or Ujwala. Oh, it's Ujwala, sorry. Then Janita has commented agriculture for future purpose. Yes, that is sustainable agriculture. Then Tanmay has commented marine resources, including marine resources like ocean is one example of marine resource. Then coral reefs are an example of marine resource. Then what we call rivers, then lakes, all these are marine resources. So these are all some of the examples of marine resources. Okay, Tanmay has asked me, do we count fossils in marine or terrain? Basically, fossil fuels, we consider them as non-renewable sources of energy. So it will depend on, like, from where do we extract this fossil fuels. So depending on that, we classify. Athar has asked me, will I be covering economics as well? So whatever economics topics are included in your syllabus, I will be covering that, because my subject is actually economics, but ecology is a subject of interest for me. But I have done my masters in economics, and also I'm a faculty for economy for a long period now. So definitely whatever economics topics are included in your syllabus, I'll be covering that for sure. I'll do that. So any other doubts before we wind up the session? Do you have any other doubts or any other queries? So I hope everything is clear for you. Let's wind up today's session. I'll meet you again tomorrow. As we said, tomorrow we will be completing this particular subject, Sustainable Development Goals and Millennium Development Goals. We will come to an end, but I want you to do one thing for me, one favor for me, not only for me, for you also. You have to revise the entire things. Since we started, we have completed, this is the 6th lecture in the series. So I want all of you to revise the notes of these 6 series, so that tomorrow what we will be doing, I will ask you some questions. Also, we will compare Sustainable Development Goals with MDG. So lot of questions will come in, and I will not be the person who will answer them. You will do that. And because I said I'll ask you questions, do not skip tomorrow's classes. You should all attend it, and also tell your friends also to attend the classes tomorrow. Okay. I'll see you again tomorrow. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do subscribe and press the bell icon. Also do share it with your friends. If you have found this video beneficial for you, please do share it with your friends. So I'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye. Hello friends, and welcome to Digimento. So today we will be continuing with our discussion, and this is the last lecture in this particular topic, people, development and environment. So we will conclude it. We have already discussed a lot of topic related to this unit. So we will conclude this particular topic, people, development and environment, today in today's lecture. And first of all, I'm really sorry for being late. There was some technical issue to be sorted out. That is why I was not able to start the classes on time. So there were some technical errors. I'm really sorry for that. Apologies for that. So let's begin. But before that, this is our channel Digimento. So we are providing online coaching for GATE, NTA, UGC, NET and PGT Computer Science. You can avail any of our online courses for preparing for all these examinations. Also, you can visit our website www.digimento.com, or you can call to any of these numbers for getting more information. So let's come to our today's discussion. But before that, I'm waiting for people to join the classes. So until then, we will quickly revise as usual. Every day we have this practice of revising for the first 2 minutes. And yesterday, if you remember, I have given you a homework. The homework was to go through the previous lecture notes. So I hope you have done that. The live chat is not active for me, but I will see to it. I told you, there was some technical errors today, so that is why the live chat was not still not active for me. But still, let's try. Okay. Yeah, now I can see you people. Hi, hello. So until others join, I will just recap what we have learned in the last 2-3 classes, and today we will be concluding this particular topic. So we discussed about what is development. So the concept of development we discussed. Then we also discussed about what is the difference between growth and development. So what is the difference between growth and development? We saw that growth is a quantitative aspect, whereas development is a qualitative aspect. So that also we have discussed in detail. Then we discussed about GDP, national income, also about development and environment. So how development and environment are interrelated to each other, or what is the relationship between development and environment. This also we discussed in much detail. So we also discussed what can be done in order to negate or to reduce or minimize the impact of development on environment. So we have seen that as well. Then we also discussed about Millennium Development Goals, the 8 Millennium Development Goals we have discussed in detail. Then 8 of them in detail we have seen. Then we came to the very important concept of sustainable development. What is sustainable development? And then we also discussed what are the aims or the objectives under sustainable development. So these are some of the objectives and the aims under sustainable development. And also we said there are 17 sustainable development goals. Then each one of them, yesterday we had taken up each one of the sustainable development goal and we discussed in detail about each of them. So these are the sustainable development goals. You can quickly go through them. So just quickly glance through all of them for your revision. If you have not done your homework, that is to go through your class notes again. So these are the goals, 17 in number. Okay, so these are the 17 sustainable development goals. Okay, now we will come to what is what is the relevance of sustainable development goals, or why do we need sustainable development goals. Also we will compare it with that of the Millennium Development Goals. So this is what we will be doing in today's lecture. But before that, I need you to do one thing. If you have any queries until now, please do comment it in your comment box, because we will be concluding this particular unit this subtopic today. So before we conclude, I want you to clear all your doubts and then move ahead. So that's why I'm asking you again, if you have any queries regarding these things that we have learned till yesterday, please do comment. And if if it is clear for you, then also you can comment, so that I will be in a position to understand whether you have got me or not. So Meenachi, Lipika, Gayatri, Karthik, Neetu, Attar, hi everyone, hello. So just tell me if you have any doubts, or also tell me if it's clear for you, if the concept is clear for you. Okay, so I hope it's clear for you. So let's move into the topic of discussion today. Why do we need sustainable development goals? Yesterday we have already seen what is sustainable development goal. So now it's your turn to tell me, why do we need sustainable development goals? The need or the relevance of sustainable development goals. And here we also need to make a comparison. So comparison with that of Millennium Development Goals. So comparison or compare. So compare it with Millennium Development Goals, or compare it with the previous one. Again, my writing is not legible. I'm sorry again. Sajan is asking me, Mera paper 2 kaun sa hai? I have done my masters in economics, but until now I have not given the NET examination, but I'm planning to give. So my paper 2 is economics. Okay, so can someone comment, why do we need sustainable development goals? In your own words, you can say, without looking into the slide, you can tell me in your own words, why do we really need sustainable development goals? So what is the relevance of sustainable development goals? If you look into the goals, it's very clear why do we need them. So first thing is that approximately 100 crore people still live on less than $1.25 per day. The World Bank measure on poverty. So when we discussed about Millennium Development Goals, we said that their poverty means a person who is getting less than dollar per day is considered to be poor. So poor means a person earning less than $1 per day, but that was according to the Millennium Development Goals. Now when we move ahead from that of Millennium Development Goals and when we reach the Sustainable Development Goals, a person who is earning less than $1.25 per day is considered to be poor by the World Bank. So this is the estimation given by World Bank, and accordingly there are around 100 crore people. I'll just change the color of the ink so that you will be able to get it better. So I don't know how to change the color. Yeah, got it. So I'll just take some bright colors so that you get it better. Okay, so 100 crore. 100 crore people live in poverty according to the World Bank. And more than 80 crore people do not have enough food to eat. Now, why this special comparison is made here? Here $1.25 per day, this is the estimation for poverty, and we already saw that poverty is different from that of hunger. So poverty and hunger are entirely different concepts. Now 80 crore people, so 80 crore people, they do not have enough food to eat. It means that they are hungry or they are undergoing hunger, which is even more worse situation than poverty, because poverty is multidimensional. If you do not have basic necessities, you are considered to be poor. It can be food, it can be clothing, it can be shelter, but just imagine a situation where the most important, or we can say the most basic necessity of a person is food. So in a situation where a person is not getting enough food to eat, then this situation is called hunger. So according to World Bank, 100 crore people live in poverty, and among that about 80 crore people do not have enough food. So we need this Sustainable Development Goal, and with the Sustainable Development Goal, the governments will be able to formulate policies. These goals has to be achieved by 2030. So various governments at different levels, at the national level, regional level, they will frame policies to meet these targets. So depriving these people from the situation, that is the poverty and hunger situation, can be achieved. The goal of eliminating poverty and hunger can be achieved, and this is one important relevance or the significance of Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, again MDGs, here we will come to a comparison between Millennium Development Goals and Sustainable Development Goals. Let's see. And before that, I would like to tell you one more thing, that when we learn about this Sustainable Development Goals, it's also important to know and understand that all the 17 goals which are included in the Sustainable Development Goals, they are of utmost importance at the global level. So by achieving these goals, the world itself will go through a reformation, or we can say a transformation. So a transformation or a reformation will take place across the globe if we attain all these 17 goals. But it should be practically difficult that we attain all of them in its fuller sense by 2030, but definitely we will be able to achieve some of them to some larger extent. That itself will bring a lot of transformation to the world. So in that context, it is again very, very important. Now the Millennium Development Goals, coming to comparison, Millennium Development Goals were too narrow and failed to consider the root causes of poverty. So this is the comparison. Why do we need Sustainable Development Goals? We already had a Millennium Development Goal which were to be achieved by 2015. Then why did we shift to Sustainable Development Goal? Whether it was not sufficient to continue with the Millennium Development Goal? No, it was not sufficient. Why? What is the reason? Somebody has asked me, Attar has asked me to select the pen. Yeah, I choose the highlighter because you know what happens, the pointer is very slow. At times I also do not have any idea where is the pointer. That's why I choose the highlighter, but again I'll come to pen. So here you must understand that the Millennium Development Goals, they were too narrow. So we already saw that the objectives were very narrow. They were not broad-based objectives, and also it failed to consider the root causes of poverty. What are the root causes of poverty? It did not consider. Only if we understand what is the cause. I'll give you an example. Like for example, you are appearing for some examination, and imagine, okay, this is just an imagination. Imagine that you failed in the examination 3 times. And without knowing the course, do you think that you will be able to improve better next time? No. You have to understand why did you fail. Maybe the resources that you studied were not sufficient, or that were not the right resources. It can be that. It can be because your time management was very poor. It can be that your mental stability was not very well. You were into some problems and then you were not able to concentrate fully. So only if you understand what really went wrong, then only you will understand how you can rectify them. Similarly, you need to understand what are the reasons or what are the causes of poverty, and then only we will be able to eliminate poverty. So this is one thing, that why did we need Millennium Development Goals, why did we need Sustainable Development Goals, that the Millennium Development Goals were too narrow and it also failed to consider the root causes of poverty. Secondly, the Millennium Development Goals does not address human rights. So human rights means those rights that you cannot deny to an individual. So this is human rights. So Millennium Development Goals, the MDGs, does not address the human rights. It was just to eliminate some of the problems that existed. So human rights were not addressed. So this is the second reason why we shifted to Sustainable Development Goals. You can get some statement wise questions. Identify the reasons why we shifted to Sustainable Development Goals from the Millennium Development Goals. Finally, when we discuss the questions, you will get an idea how questions are being asked. Okay. Now, in reality, the MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, were considered targets for poor countries to achieve from the finance of wealthy countries. So this was also another criticism, we can say, against the Millennium Development Goals. So Millennium Development Goals were framed in such a way that the poor countries will be able to achieve some kind of development with the finance that is used from the wealthy countries or the developed countries. So this is another criticism. Okay, I'm getting some questions. Sajan has told me best wishes. Thank you so much. And Attar, yeah, I have addressed that. I have used the pen. Now Suprita, who has framed this SDGs, it's by United Nations, by UN. Okay, so these were some questions that came in. So I hope you understood these 3 points. One thing is that it was narrower. Millennium Development Goals were narrow. Second one, human rights were not addressed. And third one is that there was a criticism that Millennium Development Goals considered the targets for poor countries from the wealth of wealthy countries or developed countries. So this was it. Now next, why do we need Sustainable Development Goals? The other reasons we will come to it. So, okay, every country will be expected to work towards achieving the SDGs. I said these are all global goals. So, this is not a goal to be achieved at the national level. These are all global goals. Global goals means all the countries, every country, every UN member or every country will be expected to work towards achieving these goals. So that is why we said to achieve these Sustainable Development Goals, India has also framed many policies. Many legislations were formed in India also to address all these goals or to meet the targets under these goals. So every country will work towards achieving the goals, thereby development or improvement in the quality of life in every country can be ensured. Next one is that the SDGs are drawn out by an open working group with a draft agenda rather than by a group of men in the basement of UN headquarters. So it's drawn out by an open working group. That means the goals are developed by a working group after so much of consultation, after the participation or taking the opinion from various stakeholders. So only after that these goals are developed, which means that there is a much required background work that is already done while framing these goals. So in that sense also it's very important. Again, SDGs were drawn out after a series of global conversations and debates. This is what I said. So deliberations, debates, discussions, participation from various stakeholders, consultations at various levels, everything had taken place before framing the Sustainable Development Goals. So here the approach is participative or inclusive approach because different stakeholders were consulted before finalizing these goals. So this is about the other importance of SDGs. So these are all the importance and relevance of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. So with this, we are coming to a conclusion of this topic. Today's lecture is a little short because I don't want to just start a new new topic today. I don't want to take up a new topic today because if I do so, then again tomorrow we will have this continuation problem. So what I will do for another 10 minutes or 10-15 minutes, what we will do is that we will take up all the questions from your side. Any clarifications required from your side for all these subtopics that we have discussed in this particular lecture series. So if you have any queries, I will answer all of them. Or even if you do not have any queries from this lecture series, if you have some personal queries, personal in the sense that maybe some general queries like time management or how to manage studies and how to balance your studies and work, if you have such queries also, I will take it up for the next 10 to 15 minutes. So that is what we will be doing. So I hope this lecture as of now, whatever I have taught you, it's important for you, and I hope it's clear for you. I hope you have also made the lecture notes. So please let me know if you have any queries, if you have any clarifications, or if you need any help from my side, you can let me know in the next 10 minutes. I'll be very happy to help you. Okay. So I'm waiting for your response. So if somebody has anything to ask me, please do. Okay, and meanwhile we will just revise sustainable development and sustainable development goals, because until I get some comments, I don't want to waste your time. So please do ask me, and until then we will just see what is sustainable development. So I hope sustainable development is clear for you. What is that? Without compromising the needs of future generation. That is, by taking care of the future generations as well, we are undertaking the developmental activities. Lipika has told me that she has a question. Please do ask me, Lipika. You can comment over the comment box so that I'll be able to help you out. Ma'am, what should be the strategy to get success in NET examination? Okay, I will answer that question, and I'm sure that most of you might be having this same query, same issue. Okay, so basically what I feel from my perspective, I may be right, I may be wrong, but what I feel is that to clear any examination, there is only one simple formula, and that is discipline. That is what I feel. So discipline, or bringing in some discipline in your preparations, will help you out, and that is the one thing I think will bring magic or will bring miracles to your preparations. So here what you need to understand is that for any exam, let it be NET examination or any other competitive examination, you need discipline. You need a strategy of your own, and then stick on to it. That is what I feel. So for NET examination, let us come. You have two papers. One is your paper 1 and second one is your paper 2. I'll give you a broad idea. So according to my knowledge, I have my own limitations. I am not like, I will not say that I am the best person to advise you on that, but then I'll just give you an idea. So paper 1, please go through your syllabus very deeply, understand the syllabus very thoroughly. Please make sure that you keep a printout of the syllabus in hand. So please go through the paper 1 syllabus thoroughly and make sure that you have learned at least something about each and every small topic that is mentioned in the syllabus, whether it is logical reasoning, whether it is quantitative aptitude or teaching ability. So whatever is mentioned in your syllabus, be sure you have prepared something at least to a extent on that particular topic. So with regard to unit 9 and also some of the parts of unit 10, I will take intensive classes for that, and that will be sufficient for you. Other topics also, make sure you have learned them. And paper 2 is your subject of expertise. You can take help from your college professors or like people who have helped you. So you can take help from those people who are really good in that subject. And apart from that, some other tips that I will tell you. One is to go through the previous year papers very thoroughly. At least 5 years, but I will recommend you to go through at least 10 years. In my case, whatever topic I am dealing with, I will take up the questions of last 10 years. So I will recommend that you go through the previous year papers of at least 10 years so that you will understand how the question is being asked, and that will definitely help you to get an added advantage, because once you understand the mindset of the examiner, what is the expectation of the examiner from your side, it is even more easy. So that will be another tip that you should do. I will not say that you can do, but you should follow that at least 5 years, but if possible 10 years. Okay. And then third thing is, be very thorough with the syllabus. And then if possible, practice some mock test also, so that in the exam you get enough time. And then also it should not be that the original exam is the first one that you take. Please make sure you do at least some minimum number of mock tests before you appear for the real examination. So these are some of the tips. And apart from that, discipline is what matters the most. Be consistent in your preparation. This is a competitive examination. Maybe in the race, for the first 1 week or 2 weeks, you will be like, fully recharged, and then you will study for 10 hours or 12 hours or 15 hours. But from the second week or the third week, you fall down. It's not what is needed. You have to be very consistent with your preparations. So even if you study only for 3 hours or 4 hours, make sure you give your 100% when you are studying. And whenever possible, there may be limitations for you. Maybe there are people who are working. Maybe there are people who takes care of the family, who have kids. So there can be different circumstances for everyone. I'm sure that maybe a very less number of people who are preparing for any competitive examination will be in a very comfortable position, that there are no liabilities on the shoulder. But for everyone, there will be one or the other problems. So make sure that whenever you study, give your 100%, give your full. It may be 2 hours, it can be 3 hours, but do give your 100%. Then time management is very important. In time management, what I can tell you is to prioritize. Prioritize in the sense that there are less priority things, like checking your social media accounts or maybe chatting with your friends. So I'm not saying that you should not use social media or you should not talk to your friends, but give priority. Understand that what is your priority. Understand that cracking this exam is your priority, and you have a lot of time left with you after cracking the exam to do whatever makes you happy, whatever keeps you very happy. And then whatever fun you want to have, you can have it after the exams also. And one very important quote that I always keep in my mind, okay, whenever I have a target or whenever I have a goal, the one goal that I keep with myself is that the pain of discipline is better than the pain of regret. So tomorrow, if you do not study now, tomorrow you will regret, and the pain of the regret is much worse than the pain of discipline. Of course, being disciplined, it takes a little kind of commitment from your side. It requires a little, you have to give up so many things, so many leisure, and then so many pleasure in your life. But that pain, if you can take tomorrow, you will never have the pain of regret. So that is all I want to tell you. So I'm getting a lot of questions, okay? So I'll take it up. Alipika, I have answered your question. Meenachi has asked me, tell me about biodiversity. Meenachi, I'm taking a lecture on biodiversity. Definitely then we will cover that. I think we will do that then. You please organize some kind of lectures for higher education in paper 1. Yeah, I'm doing that. Suprita, I'm working on it. So higher education and all that I will cover. That's what I said. In unit 10, most of the portions I will be covering myself. The history, polity part and all, I'll cover myself. So all the social science related aspects I'll be covering. Then, ma'am, can you please upload computer science and application preparation strategy? We'll do that. I'll definitely communicate this with the team. Ma'am, I'm doing post-graduation in computer science. Alongside, I'm preparing for Maharashtra State PCS. I was following you and Rinal sir for economics on other channel. Thank you so much, Attar. Thanks a lot. When I get messages from my students, I'm really happy. And I think that is the best reward a teacher can get. Apart from everything, apart from the social recognition or apart from the monetary aspects or whatever it is that if I have touched the life of one student, that is all the greatest reward that I can get. I'm so happy that you people, whenever you message me such kind words, I'm so happy. So could you tell where should I follow you for economic lectures? The part covered My ecology and environment. Okay. So Attar, I'm actually planning to start my own channel for economics, because my area of expertise is economics. So when I start, I will definitely be letting you people know about it. And if you want to get the updates about that, you can follow my subscribe to my Telegram channel. You can follow me on Telegram channel, and it is called Joycey Joy Official. So I will put all the updates there. So even if like anybody else also wants to join, so this Telegram channel name is Joycey Joy Official. So you can follow me on the Telegram channel. There I will keep all the updates. Okay, then Meenachi again has asked me about biomagnification and biodiversity. Biomagnification, did I not explain it in the class? Biomagnification. Okay, I will take it up now. And biodiversity entirely, see, I have to take it this is a separate subtopic. So I will have to take it completely, biodiversity. So I will come to it. And Suprita, please you let us know current affairs and environment related to exam. Definitely, I will be doing that. Current affairs also, I'm planning to launch it from maybe another 2 days. I will do all the current affairs also important for your examination. We'll do that. Preparation strategy. I will come up with a full entire 1 hour live on preparation strategy. Let me also prepare for making that strategy. So I will also work on it. I will see maximum resources and everything. I'll come to it. So we will take 1 hour live strategy only for preparation strategy. We will take up. I will do that. Tuba has commented. So I hope these are all the questions that you have to ask me. If anything more is there, I will take up, or now I will explain to you what is biomagnification. This was asked by Meenachi, but again this will be a revision for all of you. So I will take it up, and meanwhile you can also think of anything. If you want to ask me, you can think of it while I am explaining about biomagnification. And after that you can post it on the comment section. So okay, let's take up this topic, biomagnification. So before that, we need to understand what is a food chain. We know what is a food chain. Food chain means it's a unilateral or a unidirectional. So one direction, unidirectional transfer of nutrients from one organism to another. This is food chain. Like for example, let us take grass eaten by a grasshopper. Okay, grasshopper, and the grasshopper is eaten by a frog, and the frog is eaten by a snake. So likewise the chain continues. So this is unidirectional, it goes in one direction, and this is called a food chain. Now for example, we have another concept called the food web. Now food web means grass can be eaten either by a grasshopper, it can also be eaten by a cow. Then again the grass can be eaten by some birds. Okay, and then again the cow can be eaten by different organisms or different animals. So what will happen? This is multi-directional. This is called food web. So I hope food web and food chain is clear for you. Now if you have understood this, I will come to biomagnification. Okay, now for example, a farmer, okay, there is a farmer who has used a lot of pesticides and insecticides on his farm. Okay, and there are also some grass growing on the farmland. So this grass, definitely because the farmer has used pesticides and insecticides, this grass will also have some content of pesticides and insecticides. So what will happen? This grass which is eaten by a grasshopper, so grasshopper will take in, or there will be an intake of this chemicals. Okay, or we can say pollutants. Now the grasshopper is eaten by a frog. So the frog will also automatically take in all these pollutants. Now frog is eaten by a snake. So snake also will take in these pollutants. Okay, like this the chain continues. So biomagnification, what is meant by magnification? Magnification means enlargement. It is becoming more and more enlarged. So what will happen? Suppose 1 unit of grass had 10 milligram of 10 milligram of pollutants or pesticides, insecticides, whatever it is, 10 milligram, and this grasshopper has eaten 10 units of grass, for example. So 10 into 10, what will happen? 100 milligram of pollutants will enter the grasshopper's body. Suppose the frog has eaten 4 grasshoppers. So 4 into 100, 400 milligrams of pesticides or pollutants will enter the frog. Now suppose a snake has eaten again 4 frogs. So 400 into 4 will give you 1600. So 1600 milligram of pollutants have entered into the snake. So like this, what happens as we move forward or as we move ahead with the food chain, the amount of pollutants that enter into one organism from that of another increases. So this is called magnification. Magnify means increase. So it increases as we proceed or as we move forward with the food chain. The amount of pollutants that enter from one organism to the other one, it increases. So this is called biomagnification. I hope it is clear for you now. So Manoj is asking me about primary consumer, secondary consumer. Yes, that is what. So I'll come to all that when we move further with the other topics. So I will definitely